If you are one of the many who has downloaded my Feel Right Race Light plan or my Fit and Strong plan and received a meal plan and have felt overwhelmed by the amount of choices and options and format, this video is for you. It's also for those of you who are doing either boot camp, my Apex Nutrition boot camp, or my Fit and Strong, where you've downloaded this meal plan. Today, I'm going to take just a few minutes of your time, explain it, and help you get through it quickly without any sense of being overwhelmed. Hello, my name is Kelly Jennings, owner of Apex Nutrition and Fresh Fit Life. I have been providing meal plans to clients, either custom plan clients where I have done a full assessment for them and then produced a meal plan, or for clients who are buying my download programs or my boot camps for about 12 years now. I've worked one-on-one with over 1,000 clients to provide these meal plans. So today I'm going to walk you through the meal plan just in case you've received it or downloaded it or gotten it as part of a boot camp and feel just a bit overwhelmed. Hopefully, by giving you some of the reasoning and walking through it with you, it will take away the guesswork and help you to feel like you can take it and use it as an effective tool to meet your nutrition and weight goals. So if you have gotten a meal plan, it's going to look something like this without the cover page. You're going to have a calorie level at the top, and then it's going to start going through the different options that you have for each meal. Now, I know at first glance, this is going to look like way too many options for some of you. There are usually about 3 reasons why this meal plan format is tough for people. One is that you have to find your own calorie level. If you're not a custom client and I haven't done that for you, then you're gonna find your own calorie level and choose it. When you first look at that document though, and it's got all the calorie levels, realize that it's several plans for all different people. It's not just the one calorie level. So first we're gonna find calorie level and then only print out the one that's for you. So you don't end up with 50 pages when you should only have about 6 or 7. Second is that a lot of times just the amount of words, the amount of options is the problem. Now I've done this all different ways throughout the last 12 years. I've done this with less options. I've done this with more mix and match, like pick a protein, pick a that sort of thing. And I've also even done meal plans where I chose a meal for people at every meal, like breakfast, this is your one option. Lunch, this is your one option. Dinner. And I will tell you that there are pros and cons to all of those. A lot of people think the latter, the last one I said, would be the best. I will tell you that if shopping gets off at all, if schedules go awry, all those things, and it kind of gets off, food feels like it's going to waste. There's a lot of problems with it as well. And the time it takes me to do that doesn't make it very affordable for most people. So there are pros and cons to all of it, and I assure you that this is the best way I have found. So let me walk with you through it. I should say the third problem sometimes is that often whenever you get a plan like this, you feel like it should just be easy then. And I realize that that is part of the promise, that I'm giving you a tool to make this easier. But shopping for, prepping, cooking food, and kind of getting all that done is never going to be that easy unless you hire a personal shopper and chef. This is something, that is like a lifelong journey for people, kind of getting this under control, kind of putting in the systems that they need in order to make this work in their own lives. I know it's not easy. It is time consuming. If you think that you can eat healthy with foods that you get at home and it's going to be quick and easy and painless, then I don't have anything for you. It's not ever going to be like that. This is a tool that will help you get organized and help you with the amounts of food so that you can meet your weight goals. But it's not going to be effortless or easy. So just keep that in mind as we go through. I'm going to make it easier for you as much as I can. But that is always going to be an issue. I've been doing this in my own family. I have 4 kids for years, and it's still something that is time consuming. You have to make dinner, you have to make lunches, you have to do all of this, and it does take time. So hopefully this will end up encouraging though and not discouraging. So let's start with how to find that calorie level. When you download your meal plan, there's a link at the top that will lead you to my calorie calculator. That's one easy way to decide what calories you need. I will give you an even easier way right now. Probably this applies to 85% of the people that I work with. If you are a woman, you want to lose weight, likely choosing a calorie level around 1,300 calories is about where you need to lose weight. And I am going to say this regardless of your activity and training, and I'll talk about that in a moment. If you are a male, Most men will lose weight right around 1,700 calories. So that is your one-stop easy solution if you don't feel like calculating those calories and putting in everything for your own lifestyle. The times that this isn't true is if a woman is under 30 or a male is under 40, or if a woman is taller than about 5'8" or a man is taller than about 6'2". In both those cases, go ahead and jump up to that next calorie level. So instead of 12 to 1,400 for women, you'd go 14 to 1,600. Instead of 16 to 1,800 for men, you'd go 18 to 2,000. So hopefully I didn't muddy the water too much. For the vast majority of people, women go for about 1,300, men go for about 1,700, done and done. Print out only that section of the meal plan for yourself, okay? You should end up with like 6 to 8 pages, somewhere in there, depending on if the spacing all worked out and there's no extra pages in there. So that's what you're gonna go for. So here is my woman meal plan at 12 to 1,400 calories. So we're gonna hit that 1,300 calories right away. The next thing, now I know that there are lots of different options for every meal and every snack. Please try to turn that into a positive and not a negative to you. Don't see all these words and think of, oh my gosh, it's so much cooking, it's so much food. What I would like for you to do is think of 2 things you like for breakfast. For me, I like eggs and I like oats. So those are the 2 things. Now, it turns out number 1 is eggs. Eggs and avocados, any spices I want to add, and then I can add like fruit, like an apple or a baked yam. So I'm going to highlight number 1. I like oats. Number 3 is an oat one. Now, some of you like smoothies, some of you like yogurt in the morning, some of you like all sorts of different things. Find 2 that you like and highlight those 2. If it bothers you to see all these words still even after highlighting, cut them out, physically cut it out and paste it onto a paper so you only have your few selections. But you've got to kind of weed through, see the 2 things that you want to see, and then start meal planning and shopping according to those. You can do that for everything. The first page is all different kinds of breakfasts. As you use this for weeks and weeks and weeks, you might go back and decide that you want to try something different, and that's one of the points. This is to become a lifestyle. This isn't a quick fix. This isn't for 1 week. This is for a lifestyle. And often when you want to make lifestyle changes, you need variety. I certainly do. So start with 2 and then go through and add more if you want to. Next is a snack, a mid-morning snack. So same thing. You're just gonna pick a couple. Make this as easy as you need it to be. If you need it to be something you grab and go, grab the yogurt, grab the, there's Kind bar, Quest bar, different bars that I've added, or maybe just a, 1/4 of a cup of nuts. Think of 2 that you like, highlight those and move on. Lunch. There's options for leftovers, there's sandwiches, there's salads, there's all the different things, but again, just pick the 2 that you like, highlight those and move on. Afternoon snack is the same. Let's go with dinner. Now, one thing to know about this is the reason I have it in this format is because all of these meals work. You don't have to go through and choose which one you think is the healthiest or the best, because I've used different combinations of protein foods and carb foods, healthy fats, ones with fiber, in order to meet the objective that I've set out for your meal plan to help you lose weight. I've thought of all of that, so you don't have to think of any of it. Just pick 2 and move on and follow those portions. We'll talk in a minute about why I've picked what I've picked, but for now, just move on. The different one is going to be dinner. Now at dinner, I do give you just kind of first a visual of a plate full of vegetables with protein on top, but then second, a generic meal. For a lot of people, because dinners are a little bit more complicated when you have a family, if someone else cooks your meals at night, whatever it is, they can be more complicated. So I've kind of given you a generic meal to start with. On mine, it says 5 to 6 ounces of meat, unlimited fresh roasted steamed vegetables with a certain amount of oil and vinegar, and then some nuts or part of an avocado to top it off. So that is one way to go about doing dinner without any other struggle. That means that you can get a rotisserie chicken for your meat and then add some vegetables on the side. That means that you can grill some salmon for your meat and add some vegetables on the side. The vegetables can be cooked, they can be fresh. I'm trying to give you enough flexibility so it's not so strict that you can't work within it and your family can't, but still controlling the portions and the types of foods for you. Now, if you want recipes, you can go on. I've listed all sorts of links and recipes you can use. And then we have a lot of recipes under there too. To start off with, there are just easy, like I described the entire recipe in a paragraph sort of foods, and then after that there's ones with full recipes. Now, if that's overwhelming to you, just get rid of all that and look at just that generic meal and that's it, or pick 3 recipes you want to rotate through. The last portion is just an after dinner snack. This is kind of the cheat meal, or cheat 150 calories for the day. It can be alcohol, so we can work in a beer if you want that on a daily basis, a glass of wine if you want that, or a small treat. One thing is, if you are an athlete and you're training hard, having protein for bed is a better idea than having carbs before bed. So you can choose that protein shake at the top. But these are your calories to play with. This can help people not feel like there's things off limits and help you establish a lifestyle. So, if you are wondering why in the world I have chosen these food combinations, there's a few things I'm looking at. Now again, I looked at this so you don't have to. One is that I want every meal to have a certain amount of balance, meaning that there are whole food carbs, there are healthy proteins and healthy fats in most all meals. The daytime meals have carbs, the dinner doesn't as much. And that's, if you've watched the other videos, as you've seen, that's because I think you need the most carbs while you're active during the day and then not so much at night. The next thing is I've tried to use as many unprocessed foods as possible. Now you'll see commercial foods, and in that case I try to even give you brand names so you know which ones are good ones to choose at the store. But otherwise I try to give simple foods like fruits, like nuts, like eggs, like oatmeal. And then the last thing is I control those portions so the calories and the carbs come out about right. Now I am not going to sit there and tell you that you need exact carbs and exact calories down to the 1 calorie. It just doesn't work that way. So there's a range that we're using, but I have done those portions for you. So go ahead and just pick the 2 of each and then move on and start meal planning with that. So hopefully I have covered the first couple reasons why this might feel overwhelming or be hard to start. The last one is if it just seems like this is a lot of work and it's kind of more of a motivation issue, there's 2 things I'll point to you, or 2 tools that might help you. One is if you are in the boot camp, then you've seen that link for that, or that YouTube video from Mel Robbins about the 5-second rule method, counting down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. What this is all about, if you haven't watched it, it's about transforming your brain to go right to action rather than relying on motivation. I've been doing this for years, and I've done different levels of competitive biking and that sort of thing. So as far as training and eating and all of that, and I still, have a hard time sometimes with motivation. Just like anyone, everyone does. So the trick in this case, and what she teaches, is to bypass motivation and rewire your brain. And this is like a scientific thing that you can do, to where one thing means action. And in this case, counting down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, when you get to 1, it's action. And that can be anything. That can be making your meals for the week, or making your lunch for work the next day so you don't go out to eat, things like that. Or brushing your teeth at night so you don't eat any more before you go to bed. So the motivation piece, that's one. The other tool I use is I've found that punishment often works as good as anything to get me to form a habit. Right now it's kind of getting to be biking season for me again. It was ski season for me, and then I have kind of an off season where I live, the trails are too muddy to really get on the bike, and it's really cold in the morning, and we're just kind of getting out of that. So it's warming up and I can get up in the morning, but my problem is I don't really like to get up because it's still pretty cold. It's like 32 degrees when I want to go bike in the morning. So what I do is I do the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 method, and then as backup, I've told my 10-year-old that I will pay him $5 every night before the next day is my day to ride. I tell him, Luke, I will pay you $5 in the morning if I don't get up. And I don't really want to pay him $5. So like the punishment, we'll do the same thing with your food. If that's what it takes, then go ahead and find a way to bet someone, or to have some sort of, it's just extra motivation. Those are the 2 things that I've seen work over time. I hope that this has helped. I hope I haven't made it more overwhelming. Sometimes I feel like whenever I create more tools, it gets to be just more, and that's not what we want to do. The thing with eating like this is it is simple but not easy. These foods are simple but not easy, and it won't be easy. If it was easy, then we, as a nation and as a world, we wouldn't have issues with processed foods and fast foods and all of that sort of thing. I hope this has helped. I hope at least a little bit. I would love to see your comments below. I can answer your questions that way, or if you're in the boot camps, then we've got the forums in order to answer questions. So thank you so much for your time, and use that meal plan and get out there and meet your goals. You can do it.